Okay, so today we're going to be making an Altoids survival tin. And these can be used for many things. You can fit whatever you want to fit in there as long as you can use it out in the wild. Now, if you were to get lost, this has lots of important things, including first aid. Now, what's going to be attached to it, you can tape it on the back, takes up almost no room, very little, is 2 Band-Aids, 2 alcoholic pads, and 2 triple antibiotic ointments. And like I said, they take up almost no room, super flat. It fits perfectly. Now, if you want to seal and be watertight, you can use electrical tape and just tape it once or twice around here, but we put it on 3 or 4 so you'd have extra tape when you take it off. And I'm just going to peel this off real fast, unseal it, so I can show you what's on the inside. Now that I'm getting down to the bottom. Alright, put that over there for right now. And once you open it, you can see that I've got 2 strike-on box matchbox strikers, and the matches are down inside. I'll show you in a minute. And we've got all of our hooks lined up right here on our tape, our big hooks for the bigger fish, if you want to try to catch one for food later on, and little hooks if you're having no luck, and a treble hook in case you want to try to catch a turtle and test your luck. And right here you just got a couple little baits in case you want to use those for something, and a swivel right here in this little baggie. And let me just open it real fast and show you what I mean. Here's a good example. It's just a curl tail little bait with the hook already in it, and I'd suggest putting that in there in case you've got cold fingers and you don't want to try to do that if you're in a hurry. And there's just a couple more baits like that in here. Like, here's the swivel I was talking about. Put that right there. And here's an orange. Orange, basically the same thing as the other one with the hook already in it. You'd want to do that so you don't have to struggle trying to put the hook in it ahead of time. Here's another bait right here. Just a yellow flea or maggot substitute. Hook already in it. And your little baggie to keep it in so you don't lose your stuff in your tin. Now, you're going to use your lighter, so in case you want to start a fire, you've already got your lighter, you don't have to try to struggle with anything else. You've got one here, and you can use it for whatever. A little bobber. You're always going to want a bobber because there's some fishing materials down in here, and this will be great, especially for little fish. It'll be easier to catch them with that. And here are 2 bobbins. The tape is securing, I'd say, about 10 yards to 10 feet of fishing line. 2 bobbins, so you really have little chance of running out of fishing line. And this goes with the bobber I mentioned earlier in the baits. And you're just going to use these, cut down a tree or cut down a little tree or something, and use that for your rod. And put those down over here. And this is going to be really important. These zip ties, just 4 large zip ties, large black zip ties. And these are going to be really important because you can use them for pretty much anything. You can use them for, let's say, securing a bunch of sticks if you're going to carry them over to build a fire, or using them to build a lean-to home if you're stranded for a long period of time. Those are good. And these 2, it's salt and pepper containers, and if you want to, you can draw the S and the P on them so you know which is which, or you can just shake them, and then salt makes its own sound, pepper makes its own sound. And all we really did was we took jumbo-sized straws, and we cut them off on each end, and then we just filled one end with the pepper, and then we took a lighter, this one just for example, took a lighter and we melted it off at the edge to seal the thing, and now it's watertight. And if you want to, once you empty these, this will make a really good bobber because they're airtight. Once you empty them, you can just seal it back up using whatever And if you lose your bobber, say it gets snagged on something and it breaks off and you can't find it, well, guess what? These are airtight. They make a really good bobber, and they do float. We've tested it. They float with your basic hook, swivel, and double lead setup, and you'd want to put it up at the top, and then that'll keep you afloat in case you lose your bobber. Put that over there. And then 3 razor blades for cutting down anything you need to cut, or if you want to make a spear, in case you lose one, you've got 2 extras, and you can just use those for cutting down anything or shaping anything you need. Put those over there out of the way.
Cutting up your game.
Oh yeah, cutting up your game, that's another good one. And 9 matches, 3 per day if you want to use those. Or, you know, whatever you need to use them for, starting a fire. Let's say this runs out of gas. Well, you've got 9 matches. Use them wisely. And in tinfoil, so they're less likely to get wet. Here's some a gauze or tape, and you can use this for fixing wounds in case you get cut or something. This will work really good. You can put it on the bottom with your medical pack or whatever you want to do. This is good in case you want to hold something together too. It works as tape. So that's there. And then Ziploc baggies. Here's another one important to have. You can put as many Ziploc baggies as you want or that you can fit in there. And these can be used for storing extra food and or water. In case you find a water source, you can fill the bag with that fresh water and you can keep it with you. So that would be good in case you catch something or you find water, you can keep it sealed in an airtight bag.
Bait. Bait.
Oh, yeah. And you can also keep bait in there. It's another one. You don't have to just keep your food and water in there in case you're looking for bait to catch fish with on these. If you're trying to find bait, then you just dig it up and put it in this bag, or maggots or whatever you want to find and use. Just put it in a bag. Much easier to keep track of. And then your sinkers for your line. We're using 8-pound tests on the bobbins. So if you feel like you need a sinker, there's 6 on here, because you're going to want to put 2 on there for the weight to be evened out. So you're going to want to keep them together with a piece of tape. So I'd say it'd be safe to put in 6 sinkers in there. These are the clip kind, so you can use your teeth to open them and close them and use them over and over again if you want to. Put them over there. And in case you encounter fast-moving water like a river or a large stream, you're going to want to put an egg sinker in there. Just something really heavy that you can use to sink to the bottom of the river. And so that way you're not going to get swept downstream and lose your bait or the little bit of line that you're using, whatever. And put that over there. And then here's another important thing. Tin foil. This can be used as a reflective surface in case either you lose your matches or they get wet, or you lose your strikers and this runs out of gas. If it's your last option, you can use these as a reflective surface to start a fire. You can use this to signal someone. In case you see a plane flying overhead, you can signal them with this. And also, if you're cooking over a fire, this would be a really good thing to use, because let's say you caught a fish, you don't know how to cook it. You don't want to stick it on a stick, because let's say all the sticks you find are moist and rotten. You don't want to do that. So you wrap the fish up in tin foil, and you dig out some tinders, and you lay the fish wrapped in tin foil on it, and it cooks the fish. So these are really important to have. And we put 2 large area tin foil in here, and we folded them up. So those will both fit in the bottom, and they're nice and flat, so they're not going to take up much room away from everything else that you got to put in there. And this, that's about it. I would say that's it. Anyway.